edición. Un saludo.
Muchísimas gracias, José, coordinador del coordinador institucional de Intereco. Ahora vamos a pasar al próximo tema, al próximo punto, que es Estadísticas Orgánicas 2023 y Promoción, recopilación 2024, a cargo de Helga Wheeler, de FiBL. Adelante.
Ahí está, Helga.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak here. I will present the latest data from our data collection, and yeah, I have to say big thank you to CIAO because with their collaboration, data collection in Latin America is really going very, very well. We publish a yearbook each year with the latest statistics on organic agriculture worldwide. The next edition will be launched at Biofach. As usual, it's launched at Biofach. And the next one will actually be the 25th edition of this. And in this book, we have reports, but the core of it is really the organic farming statistics. Yeah, and we've been receiving funding from the Swiss government, as well as from Coop Switzerland, and Biofach is also supporting it, and of course IFORM Organics International, who are our main partners in this. Yeah, the last survey was our 25th survey. As I say, the next one is going to be the 25th one, and the 24th. We did that. We usually start with our data collection in July, and then we are ready in February. And the last time we received data from 191 countries and from more than 200 experts, which are NGOs or certification bodies, governments, researchers, or also the internet can be an important source. And we collect data on land use and crops, producers, domestic market values, export and import data, and livestock data. But not everything which we collect we publish, because often the data are not very complete, but we have it, we store it all in our database. Now the key results on the organic farmland, we counted 7.6 million hectares on organic agriculture worldwide, and you can see on the bubble below, the top one, that half of this is in Oceania. Australia has large areas of organic farmland. And yeah, top country, I'll come back to that. And we now have 1.6% of the global farmland is organic. And in 2021, I mean, this is the 2021 data, we had a growth of 1.6% of organic farmland. Here are the countries that have the largest areas of organic farmland. See, Australia has a huge area. It's almost half of the global farmland. But number 2 is Argentina. And Uruguay is actually another country, which is here on this top 10 list of countries with the largest areas. And here's the distribution again. You see that Oceania has almost half of the global farmland. And that will actually increase with the next survey, because they had a huge increase in organic farmland. And Latin America has about 13% of the global organic farmland. Yeah, here is the growth. You see, we have 1.6% at the moment. And yeah, we started off with 15 million in 2000, and now we are at 75.4 million hectares. So this is the status of the area. Looking at the retail sales, if we look on the left, how are retail sales distributed by countries? The United States, it's first. They have about 40% of the market. Then comes these other countries. Sorry, we didn't manage technically to put it up. And then after the United States, comes
Helga,
Germany.
sorry,
Yep.
we are not seeing your presentation.
You're not seeing my presentation?
No, sorry. We have some problems with the sound here, and but now we are not seeing your presentation.
That's what did I do something wrong?
Del audio, no sé. ¿Está compartiendo ya? Sí, sí. No, ella. Okay.
Now?
It's louder.
What was? Can't you see it? Can you see it now?
Yes, we are seeing all your
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We are seeing all your screen.
You see my screen, and if I change to PowerPoint,
Now we are seeing your PowerPoint in moderate.
yeah.
A ver, acá. You have to.
You know, where you have the options with the three dots down at the right.
Yeah.
Pero cambié que no veo. No, está ahí. En la pantalla de ella. Tres puntitos, three dots, and then.
Yeah, I see 3 dots.
Yeah. Click there. No, los suyos. Yours. ¿No podemos ver su pantalla?
Nothing there.
¿La de ella? Es lo que hizo antes Rommel.
Ahí, mira.
¿Está en alemán?
Sí, porque es alemán.
Esa. Go there. The
Those 3 dots.
Now. Oh.
Referentenansicht ausblenden. This one. Is it good now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So, I mean, yeah, I briefly look at the graphs again. Australia as the country with the largest organic farmland area. Half of the organic farmland area in Oceania, Latin America, has about 13% of the global organic farmland. You see, we've had a good growth since we started with this by increase of more than 400%. And now this is the market. Tia Loftsgaard saying, looking at that before, on the left, you see how the organic market is distributed by country. Unfortunately, other countries, we didn't manage to put it where it should be. And then you can count Canada is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the biggest market is the United States. Then comes Germany, France, China, Canada, and then 25% are the other countries. Yeah, and looking at it by continent, you see that Europe actually has, Europe is the whole of Europe, not just the European Union, and North America have about 80% of the global market. Unfortunately, and that I think would be a very interesting thing for you to discuss, we do not have or very little data about retail sales in Latin America. So maybe, yeah, there's a way of how that can be set up. And here are the the largest markets. I've shown them before: United States, Germany, France. Yeah, but no data, unfortunately, from Latin America. And then, of course, you can also look at the market, who spends the most per person, per capita. And then you see that Switzerland is the #1 in the world, and followed by Denmark and Luxembourg. So these are all European countries. United States and Canada have a per capita of 150 almost per person per year, or in 2021. Yeah, and this shows the growth of the global market, and you see it increased by 700% since 2000, and that means the market is growing faster than the area, even though it cannot really be compared. Now, some of the data for Latin America. Caribbean. So again, thank you very much, because they're all or almost all coming from the CIAO members. And according to those data, Argentina is the country with the largest organic farmland area, followed by Uruguay, and then Brazil, Peru, and Mexico. And again, looking at the data regarding the organic farmland share, we found that Uruguay has a high organic share. Almost 20% of Uruguay's farmland are organic, but it's a lot of it, and almost everything of it is grazing, grassland areas. And French Guiana and Dominica, they have more than 10%, and then comes the Dominican Republic, and yeah, further countries. Yeah, this is the growth chart of the growth of the organic farmland area in Latin America since 2000. And you can actually see that it's a bit, there's certain ups and downs. And I think most of this is due to Argentina, or changes in the organic farmland area in Argentina. But it was mainly some of grazing areas that were converted back to conventional. So it doesn't really tell us all that much about the productivity. But in recent years, there has been good and stable growth in spite. And we are now looking at the 2022 data, but we haven't finalized the data entering, and not everything is there yet. So, and I can't even tell you what the trends are, but yeah, at BioFach we will know. Yeah, and producers is another indicator that we look at, and then we see that Peru has the most producers, followed by Mexico and Brazil. But sometimes with producers, we have the problem that only the cooperatives or the internal control systems as a whole are counted, and not the individual producers. So it's maybe not everything totally comparable. Yeah, a brief look at the land use. You see most of the organic farmland in Latin America is grassland, grazing areas. And after that, permanent crops and arable crops. And the key arable crops are cereals, sugarcane, and oilseeds. Obviously soybeans, some of this, but also vegetables and dry pulses. And for the permanent crops, coffee and cocoa and tropical fruit are the most important. Yeah, and we have since 2018, we have data from the European Union. For the US, we have them longer, about imports into the European Union, imports by country, which means we have these export data. And you remember that European Union and the United States, they are the biggest markets. So I think this is quite a good reflection of what is actually exported from the Latin American countries, even though there may, of course, be other markets as well. But I think this covers really quite a lot. And the most important export product, this is in tons, metric tons, so it's in volume. And maybe if we saw it in value, it would look different, but in metric tons, it's the bananas. And sugar, a lot of sugar goes to the EU and United States. The blue is European Union, and the dark blue, and the light blue is North America. No, not North America, United States, sorry. And there you see what the core most important crops are, tropical products, but also you see feedstuff, grain, maize, and soybeans are also important. And so this is the same thing by country, and we saw that before. Ecuador is the biggest exporter in terms of volume. Then Mexico, and for Mexico, most of the exports go to the United States. To the European Union, not so much. Peru is about half-half. Argentina, also the United States, more important than Europe or European Union. Yeah. Anyway, it's this statistics. They are a great treasure. They have really a lot of information. Yeah, now I wanted to say some words about our data collection in general. Why do we need good data on organic agriculture? And we see they are used often when countries develop national or regional strategies. Then, of course, data are needed to be able to develop that. Policymakers need them to better plan the support that is needed and to budget policy measures. donors of international cooperation projects, they are interested in this data. For them, it's important. Market actors, of course, need data on the size and potential increase of markets. And yeah, and might potentially also help investors and manufacturers. And they potentially could also play a role in fraud protection when you see, for instance, the area data don't match at all the production far bigger than what could be produced. So there might be hints. And we also see that there's a big interest in the media and the public. And of course, we, as the sector grows, we also need more and better data. But we still have a lot of challenges with the data. We have data gaps, sometimes for the total organic area and definitely for the data on the crop level. Sometimes when we compare our data with FAO data, there are certain challenges. Domestic market retail sales is a challenge because many countries don't have this data, so the data is incomplete. And also for this data, there are different methodologies. And in the European Union, there's more and more interest in catering food service data, public canteens, but that is very scarce, and that is but it's important. And then export and import data, only few countries have them, but because of this EU data and the US data, actually the picture is getting now better and more complete. So that's a really very good development. So how do we collect the data? I mean, for data sourcing, we do an internet search, even though, of course, we know usually where we have to go to find the data. For instance, the data from French market data are on the website of Agence Bio. So we know where to find them, and we have direct contact with almost 200 data suppliers. And often we have several sources per country. For instance, for the United States, the area and producers come from the National Statistical Office. The retail sales come from OTA, the Organic Trade Association, and the international trade data come from USDA. So it's three indicators or more, but 3 different sources. And then there are countries where we collect the data among the certifiers. And then, for instance, for the Philippines, we have 6 certifiers for who we compile the data for this one country. And we have the contact not always with the actual data source, but we have also helpers who guide us to the data. Like for Japan, we are quite lost with the website of the ministry. And of course, it's great that we have CIAO, but also Eurostat and the Mediterranean Organic Agriculture Network, who compile or collect the data among their members. And then this is, of course, great for us. and we have this good collaboration. So about our data collection, what's the challenge there? The challenge is to get the data in time. We have to write many mails. I assume at least it's 20% of the effort, writing mails and clarifying questions. And then we enter the data. That's the biggest thing. This is about 60% of the effort, because automatic data import is only partly possible. Sometimes it's very complex to enter the data from several certifiers or several sources for one country. And then another challenge is, which is a nice challenge, of course, that more data is available, but more data is also more work, like the EU and US organic import data. And then we do quality checks, like plausibility checks, and dealing with inconsistent data. Of course, that's, probably we should work more on that. And then we process the data, we make these infographics, we put the data online, and then we make the publication of the yearbook, and then which also is accompanied by promotional efforts. And usually we start in July, finalize the book in January, and then we have everything ready for BioFach. Just some words on, I already mentioned it, that we have this collaboration with CIAO. And in 2019, we signed a memorandum of understanding. And this was about the provision of organic agricultural statistics. So our questionnaire is used by you, by the members, and you fill it in, and then we can enter the data very easily in our database. So it's really great that you take your time to do this, because I know it's it's work. And yeah, yeah, and obviously CIAO countries, and it's really great that you recognize our work as the global reference. And I'm really want to say a big thank you, and that I'm really very happy with this collaboration. Yes, and I think with this I want to finish. Thank you very much.